There was a report and there were some studies done, and they found out overwhelmingly white school districts received 23 billion more dollars than predominantly non-white school districts in state and local funding in 2016, despite serving roughly the same number of children. That's crazy. The funding gap is largely the result of reliance on property taxes as a primary source of funding for schools. Communities in overwhelmingly white areas tend to be wealthier, and school districts' ability to raise money depends on the value of the local property and the ability of residents to pay higher taxes. We knew that. Well, we assume that because we usually say we want to send our kids to the schools in the better neighborhoods.
Good schools.
In the better neighborhoods, right?
The good schools.
I mean, that's what we do. That's what we knew. I mean, so are we going to keep doing that?
I don't think so.
I mean, the reason why they get more money is because they pay more property taxes.
Private schools, too. Tuition, things like that. They get paid.
I mean, I guess, for the resources nowadays, you really need to have computers, right? For the students and everything like that.
Have to have computers.
But other than that, I mean, we could teach our kids things that they need to know, right?
Killer Mike, man, he had a great debate. It was with Frank Ski. You saw that?
And he had one with Frank Ski.
He killed him.
He had one on the Breakfast Club,
He killed him. Oh, yeah, DJ Envy. I forgot about that, too.
Why do we keep putting our kids in white schools?
He's right.
Why aren't we just making our schools better?
Which is that simple. And two, it's crazy because my dad, he grew up on Cascade, APS school system, and back then, every high school was named after a prominent black figure. You had Frederick Douglass High School, Benjamin Banneker, Benjamin E. Mays. Like, we can just keep going on and on and on. And I think that where the problem lies, in the 70s, it was popping because we had Black Pride.
Right.
80s. Then in the 90s, it was still cool. But I think in the mid-2000s, everything started to change. You had families move to white suburbs, all that stuff. But I mean, I think that at the end of the day, too, when you have a child that goes to a predominantly white school, even if they're black, they're being just indoctrinated from day one because you're learning about European history. You're always learning that this person is the father of this, the father of that, and essentially you're not good enough. And you really don't fit in because everybody doesn't look like you. But at a black school, you can feel more comfortable, more confident, all that stuff. So I think that even if going to a white school is considered a good school, is it really good for that child? I don't think so anymore.
So EdBuild, the research company, examined the nation's 13,000 traditional public school districts and found 7,600 where more than 75% of the students were white and about 1,200 where more than 75% of the students were non-white. The non-white districts, which included many large cities, were much larger than the white districts, which included many small rural areas. But the two groups each had the same number of students, 12.8 million children in non-white districts and 12.5 million in white districts. So non-white districts took $54 billion in 2016 in local tax dollars, about $4,500 per student. White districts, home to higher incomes and less poverty, collected more than $77 billion, or just over $7,000 per student. On average, states added another $6,900 per student to white districts and almost $72 per student to non-white districts. But the overall gap in state and local funding was $23 billion. White districts, on average, have more than $2,000 more in funding per student than non-white districts. That's ridiculous. But again, when we get to the point where, you get your job, you make your money, what do? We move into the white neighborhoods, and then our tax money is going toward the education, right? So, I mean, why don't we stick around? I mean, and then we complain about gentrification, so it's like, why don't we stick around and make our neighborhoods good? You don't have to leave your neighborhood, just make your neighborhood good.
Yeah, it's so simple.
Anything that you want is possible.
Yeah.
If you put your mind to it, you get your people together, and gravitate towards your tribe, right? I mean, if you just find the people that do and like and are interested in the things that you do and like are interested in, instead of just thinking like, oh, okay, because I make this amount of money, I'm supposed to be doing this.
Right. It's crazy because think about this, even for those families that moved to the suburbs. And I remember myself growing up, my dad,
Yeah.
you know, he made it out and then we moved to the suburbs. But only thing is, when it was time to go to church, we went back to the predominantly black neighborhood to go to church. When it was time to get a haircut,
Right.
went
Yeah,
back to the
right.
black
That's what we
neighborhood.
did, yeah.
When it was time to play basketball
Exactly.
or sports, a black neighborhood. So it's like, if you're gonna do all that stuff in a black neighborhood, but you live in a white neighborhood, why not just move back to a black neighborhood? And it's that simple, because you already do everything else there. But I guess, again, like what you said, we have this misconception that if we go to a predominantly white school,
We're going to learn more. You're going to learn a lot about everybody else but you.
and it's that simple.
And that contributes to the esteem issue that a lot of black kids
It comes
have.
to
Because
self-esteem
they've been
and
going to
things.
school and not seeing anybody black and learning about anybody black or even having black teachers.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
At the same time, it's still up to the parents. Like, the
Mm-hmm.
parents got to teach that.
Right,
Yeah.
that's
You can't rely on
true.
the school. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we know that the school system is messed up.
Yeah.
You can't rely on the school to basically raise our people. Like, people relying on schools to raise their kids. You really
Yeah.
can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
the kids spend most of the time with you.
Yeah.
They go to school for what?
7 hours.
a day.
Yeah.
What, 9 months out the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still got
That's
to
true. It's
do
only
what's
for 9
hard.
months.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
You feel me? You gotta empower you gotta build your kid up.
That's
I feel like
facts.
Anyway.
That's facts.
You gotta teach them what you feel like they're not getting in school. Like, at the same time, they're not teaching no financial literacy neither. So you just
That's
gotta
real.
teach your kid what you feel is important.
That's real. Man, that's tough. It's
And then, I think it's important. Like, I think it's important to go to both. To like go to public school, like around all black people, and
Yes.
like school, just so you can get a feel, because
Right.
you gotta understand how the world is. Like,
it's
Right.
not gonna be all black.
yeah, like, so say,
Right.
I feel like when I had kids, I'm gonna be in a position to where my kids gonna be going to good schools,
Mhm.
so they might be around white people.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, in college, I want to send them to an HBCU,
Mm.
or vice versa. Like, if
Just
they
so you
go
can
to-
get that
Yeah,
round, well-rounded
just see the world,
yeah.
like, see how
Yeah.
the world really is.
That's
like,
facts.
Get experience from both sides, because it's necessary.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
can't just be black and shun off all other races. Like, you have to interact with these.
And
other
I think
Yep.
that
That's real.
races.
in the
school,
world,
sports
as
is,
the world
you know,
gets
you have to
the
do
world gets smaller and the internet makes the world a smaller place, and you
Yeah.
learn more about everyone else's culture.
Yeah.
It's important to be around different groups of people. I mean,
Yeah.
that just not just speaking to the white
Yeah, that's
neighborhoods. I
Asians,
mean,
all that.
everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to see,
Feel it.
they open your eyes to different ways of living. Like, I noticed that's how I was when I went to Ohio State. Like, just being around those different cultures, it just opened my eyes to a lot of different possibilities.
Yeah.
And even different type of black people.
Yeah,
You
that's
grow
what people
up
don't
in one
understand.
area, like, and you just used to black people from the inner city, all that. But it's different type of black people. Like,
Yes.
it's rich black people.
Bougie. Yeah.
It's- and,
That's it.
it's necessary to just get out your circle.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in my city, we kind of like trapped in that mindset. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we trapped in this is how life is, and it's like, man, no, you gotta get out
So
of this.
let me ask y'all a question too, because what is media's portrayal of black people, and how does that affect how people see us? You know what I mean? Like,
It's the main thing that affects how people see us.
so, and like you said, black people are not all the same. Some grew up, in just different ways, right? I don't even know how to say that, but you know what I mean. But back in the day, media, hip hop, music, everything, there were different lanes, right? It was like, we had like De La Soul, kind of like nerdy, preppy, Tribe Called Quest, you know what I mean? Like kind of like
Artsy.
artsy,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Middle class, school.
Yeah. Wu-Tang.
We still
It's
got
the
that
hood.
now.
Then you had
Still got that now.
Wu
Yeah.
Tang, you know what I mean?
streets.
Or like
Yeah.
G Rap, or and then you had like Miami bass. It was whatever you wanted. We still have all those different flavors, but are they reflected in the media as much as
It's
they
just-
used to be?
it's just
I see
now-
what you're
actually,
saying.
we was having this conversation on Friday. Like, now we got so much power in media
Mm-hmm.
that we really just now learning how to use
How to
the
navigate
power.
it? Yeah.
Because I think at first it started off everybody just trying to get famous, trying to go viral.
Yeah.
Now, like, we understand, like, we can really use these platforms to put a message out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, with us having, like, podcasts, and we really control the media now. Like,
Yeah.
as people, as a people.
And-
Social
and
media
yeah.
controls, like, how many people really sit down and watch the news? how many people really sit down and watch TV?
They don't even have patience
I
for
bet
it.
you people they on social media way more than they're watching TV.
Yep.
Especially
Absolutely.
the next generation that's about to be taking the lead.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about to be the old people. These are social media. Like my generation, we are more social media than TV. So it's like, man, we got the power right now. We just got to use it the right way.
So that's why I don't understand when people say, "Oh, there's no black media." Like, there's so much black media.
We just gotta
is, but
support it, man.
We got to support it,
Yeah.
and it's just still new.
Yep.
It's still new. Like it's still new. Within the next 10 years, and 10 years from now, we're gonna have those media platforms. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna be support. We already shifting into a wave of where we supporting each other.
Yeah.
So
That's facts. I mean, if you think about it, Breakfast Club, a radio station, gets their traction from YouTube when they post interviews on YouTube and they get millions of views. And I remember a guy from The Source, he was interviewed. I'm going to butcher his name. It's like L. McClendon, something like that. But he was Prince's attorney or something. Now he works for The Source, but he was saying that people
I
that
heard that interview. That was a good interview.
Yeah, but he was saying how people don't understand when it comes to black media that we're starting from like 300, 400 years back. Like these people already got
Rondell
everything.
McMillan.
Yeah. So he was saying, you know how people say, well, how come we're not at this level? But people, they don't understand everything that's going on, you know, behind the scenes. Like when you got to purchase your own camera, your mics,
Exactly.
networks, all that stuff.
and that's
So
even
it's
like,
different.
that's even to the point of how, again, let's take social media. How you might look at how somebody else doing good.
You start
It's like,
comparing.
man, you start comparing. But
Yeah.
it's like, man, this person been doing this for 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I can't compare myself to Spike Lee. Spike Lee's been doing this.
Malcolm
I
X came out in 88,
Right,
99.
I can't be mad that I'm
yeah.
not on the level of Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Spike Lee has put time into this. Spike Lee was at my
Yeah.
level at one point.
Yeah.
CBS was at this level at one
Right,
point. You feel
right,
me?
right.
Shit, Amazon, we see the picture of Amazon, he was in his garage. Like, it just
Yeah.
takes time, and we got to just, respect the process.
That's it.
You got to
That's
respect
it.
the process.
Well, I think
That's
too
it.
because so many people have gone viral and gained their popularity so quickly for doing
Off of
absolute-
ignorance.
right?
But,
Yeah.
but
Longevity.
I about to say, we've been able to
Yes.
see how social media works
Right.
now.
Yep.
And we've seen those people come and go.
Yep.
Like the one guy, I don't know if y'all remember the Mr. Hotspot dude.
Yeah, I haven't heard about him. He was here
Yeah.
one time.
He's from here.
Yeah.
he's from here, but you know who Mr. Hotspot is?
I don't.
You look
He's-
beautiful.
You look beautiful. The little dude that's been on social media.
He kind of slow.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's not slow.
Well, you see, yeah.
he
you see.
just acts like that.
Yeah.
You feel me? He blew up. He went viral, and now where is he at?
Where is he? He has a song and everything.
But it's like, come on. You see.
That's what I'm saying. But you see how these people blow up, they go viral, and
Yeah.
then they just fall right off.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
I
no
like that.
longevity in that.
Yeah. Gotta have substance. That's like the biggest thing. You know, you just can't be having one clip.
You know what? I was thinking too the other day. Whatever happened to Ace Hood? You know, I
And
had
Ace
a
Hood is
theory-
tough, too.
I had a theory
He's
on
tough.
that. Like it was either gonna be him or Meek Mill. And
when it comes to the
yeah, I never
yelling,
like, just
rapping.
speaking about people that just fade away and disappear and have all this buzz and then they're gone. Like
Well, his was more political in a sense. Like he called out DJ Khaled, so I think that he kind of got blackballed.
so he
said-
got
he said-
blackballed.
Yeah, I think
said
that he
DJ
did,
Khaled wasn't really pushing him like he should have.
which is fair to say because I mean Ace Hood is very
Well, that's
talented.
because they probably got more behind the other people in the.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.